Here's the question. It says g equals 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11th. M1 is 2.8 times 10 to the third. M2 is 3.1 times 10 squared. And D is 1.4 times 10 to the third. Evaluate for F in the formula. F equals the square root of g times M1 times M2 divided by D squared. I'm going to deal with the exponents first, the tens, the powers of 10. So on the top, it's 10 to the minus 11th, g times M1, which is 10 cubed, times M2, which is 10 squared, divided by, and it says D squared, so it's 10 cubed squared. Then take the square root of that whole thing. Now, when multiplying exponents to different, or bases, numbers, to different exponents, I add the exponents. Negative 11 plus 3 plus 2 is negative 6. So on top, it's 10 to the negative 6th. On the bottom, when you have a power to a power or an exponent to a power, multiply the exponents. That's 10 to the 6th, and I kept my square root. Now I want to combine them, and I notice all the answers have negative exponents, so I'm going to move this number, 10 to the 6th, to the top. Whenever I move a number with an exponent from the numerator to the denominator or denominator to the numerator, I change the sign. This one has a positive sign, I'm going to make it negative. This is the square root of 10 to the negative 6th times 10 to the negative 6th. Let me make this a little bit bigger so that I have just a little bit more room, like that. Negative 6, I've got the same number to different exponents. Negative 6 plus negative 6 is negative 12. So this is the square root of 10 to the negative 12th power. That's the same thing as 10 to the negative 12th raised to the 1/2 power. That's what square root is. It's the 1/2 power. And when I have an exponent to a power, I multiply them. 1/2 times negative 12 is negative 6. So the power is 10 to the negative 6. Now I'm going to do the numbers. I have g times M1 times M2 divided by D squared. G is 6.67 times M1 is 2.8 times M2 is 3.1 times D squared. D is 1.4. D squared, work it on your calculator. I already did it earlier. It's 1.96. I just happened to remember. And then it's the square root of that whole thing. So 6.67 times 2.8 times 3.1 divided by 1.96. Then take the square root. So I will do it on my calculator. 6.67 times 2.8 times 3.1 divided by 1.96. And then I want to take the square root thereof. Comes out to 5.4349, etc., etc. So this is 5.43 or 5.4. All the answer choices have only one number after the decimal, 5.4. And then remember, found the exponent of 10 earlier was 10 to the negative 6th. Now I might have to change that exponent if the answer had come out different. If it had come out to like 54 and then 10 to the negative 6th. To put this in scientific notation, I'd have to move the decimal one to the left. When I move the decimal to the left, I have to add that many numbers to the exponent on 10. So 54 times 10 to the negative 6 would be the same as 5.4 times 10 to the negative 5th. This is the answer. These are just examples, just in case if you had to put into scientific notation. What if the number had come out to 0.0054 and then times 10 to the negative 6th? Well, I'd have to move the decimal to the right 3 places in this case. So when I move it to the right, I subtract that much, that many, or that number from the exponent. So this would be 5.4 times 10 to the minus 9. Minus 6, minus 3 is, I put minus 6 again, should be minus 9. So that would just be if the number had come out to not just one number in front of the decimal point, one number to the left of the decimal point, I'd have to turn it in scientific notation and change the exponent on 10. However, for this question, as it is, the answer is 5.4 times 10 to the negative sixth. Not one of the answer choices. So who knows? Somehow the answer choices are not right.